Hey guys, this is a quick overview and install video on how to install your DIY adapter kit for the Dyson. And it converts either your Milwaukee or Makita battery to the Dyson V6. This is a V8 Dyson, and it also has another version of the adapter, which is a full plug and play solution. These are all available on my website at NoPaynDesigns.com. How to tell what Dyson you've got is a bit tricky unless you've got the stick. This is the only place I've been able to find where the type of vacuum that you've got, other than knowing what the shape looks like and what the power of the battery can provide. So we're going to use this V6 today, and we're going to adapt it to be able to take the Milwaukee battery. So some basic tools: you'll need a small Phillips driver, a small flathead, your pliers and some strippers, and then the only special-ish screwdriver is the T8 Torx. So I'll just move all these off to the side here. So first point of call is to make sure your dustbin's empty. Wouldn't be the first time I've opened one without making sure it was empty, and of course had a huge mess to clean up. So I'll take that off and put it in a safe spot, and then we're going to remove the two screws that hold the battery in place. One there, one at the back. Make sure we don't lose those. Pull the battery out. Make sure that your Dyson works, at least. Make sure that it's the battery that's the issue, otherwise it could be that your dust filter's too full. Washing it out under the hose doesn't do the trick. You do need to pull the actual filter off and then spray a jet of water down there. You'll be surprised what comes out of it. It's pretty disgusting. Alright, this is how your kit will come. Everything's attached. Just make sure you've got all the parts, the little front locker there and the crimp connectors. I'll just pull the crimp connectors off, the ones that we need, like so. To pull the back part off, we need a little flathead, and this is the best way I've found to remove that cover. You just give it a bit of a wiggle in there. Get it up underneath. You've got to be gentle, but also firm. Doesn't help that the tape's holding it in slightly. Once that cover's off, then we can get down to the guts of it. And this is where you'll need your T8 Torx to undo this screw, like so. Take the screw out. We'll need that one for later as well. Lift that up. Pull this down slightly. We want to keep this rubber grommet in place. It's the best way to keep the hot air from entering the handle. So you just push these two wires in slightly to get past the clips until you get it out to there. Then we're going to use our flathead to remove the switch on this side. The plastic's quite forgiving inside of here, so you can get a little bit rough. Push that down so it's past the pivot point, and then this one we can use the actual lever to get that out the side there, and then that will fold backwards, and then you can lift it forward and out. Spring will go flying, we don't need that. The trigger, we don't need that. I'm just going to bend our wires a little bit so that we can work with them, and then we're definitely not live, otherwise cut them individually if you're a bit worried. So from here we're going to strip our wires. Onesies, twosies. If you don't have strippers, you can just use your pliers to be light with the insulation and just give it a nice light little pinch there and a pinch there, and then lever it off. Then we're going to put our crimp connectors on. So your female spade goes onto the active wire. Twist that on. Give it a crimp, nice and firm. And then the male spade goes onto the black terminal. Give that a good firm crimp as well. Now we're going to remove the switch. Make sure that these two spades are slightly bent down, because there's a little bit of locking plastic up under here that this will go up underneath and then push down. You get a nice satisfying click there. And then we're going to grab the T8 Torx bit to then use the existing hole and screw location, and I'll butcher that up. There we go, that was a better click. Make sure that's nice and firm, and then going to put the red terminal onto one of the switch spades. Give it a wiggle. Get some long nose pliers to help you get some leverage onto it. There you go. That's all good there. Then we'll get our base with these two on. Just make sure I've crimped those on nice and tight. And we're going to put those up inside the handle, like so, before we go screwing the base into place. Just make sure that goes in there nice and tight, black to black, quite basic. And then the other red goes onto the other side of the switch. Use your long nose pliers again to wiggle that on. From here we'll do another check. So black is definitely to black, red is to red. On the bottom here we've got red to the right side. It's marked on the adapter itself. And so we can grab, we want to take our battery before we've done everything up. We want to plug her in, make sure your switch is off. we can put everything back together again. So this will make its way back up inside there. Make sure our cable management's out of the way for when we put the back cover on. Make sure that grommet's in place there. That all looks really good. We'll then get our cover. Now it comes off. It goes back on a slightly different way to how it comes off. And the top part goes on first. And then we want to help it up and get that clip into there. I've never had one of those clips break. They are quite strong. Hold that up inside, get that so that it sits properly. Then we're going to get our screws that hopefully haven't gone for a ride somewhere. It's on there, and then our other screw. You go up under there. All right, and that's complete. We'll just put our dustbin back on. Like so. I would highly recommend, if you're going to use this on Macs, to use at least a 5 amp hour battery. One with those cells that work in parallel as you run down the bank. If you do use a 3 amp hour, there's no thermal monitoring on this, but there is low voltage protection built into the Dyson, so it will cut off around the 16 volt mark and protect your battery. But thermal wise, I've done thermal imaging on this setup at full pace, and there's Milwaukee tools that use far more power than these Dyson batteries. So use at your own risk, of course, but I've been using these for months and it has been very handy being able to do the hot swap. So head to NoPaynDesigns.com and grab yourself an adapter. Thank you.